Hello, my name is Alejandro. Alex for short. Is it recording? Yeah, it's recording. Okay, so the reason why I'm recording is because I feel like I wanted to share some of my stories. And the first story that I wanted to really talk about and share with everybody is my coming out story. So, right now I'm 20 years old, and I came out when I was 19, which was only a year ago. And So during the time of my coming out, for me, it was really rough, and it was pretty sad and a dark time. And what I turned to was to YouTube to look at all the other coming out stories to see if I could get any help, and I did. But when I was coming out, I was in the military, so for me it was different because I didn't have to just come out to my parents, and I wasn't living at home, and I wasn't 16. I was 19, and I had to come out to the government for being gay. So, yeah, so the first step for me was to tell my command that I was gay. So I did, and it ended up taking 5 months for me to get out. And during that 5 months, it was a really tough process, but I'll talk about that another time. So, anyways, when I got out of the Coast Guard, I ended up staying. I was living in South Carolina then. I'm in California now. But I ended up staying in South Carolina for a while. And I woke up one morning and I said, okay, I feel like I'm supposed to not be here. So I got up and I packed all my bags and I packed my Jeep full and I was ready for a cross country road trip. So on the road trip, I kind of just like looked around each state to see where I wanted to live because I didn't want to go home. I was so afraid of telling everybody. I mean, living in a Mexican household and Mexican traditions and family, if your son's gay and you're the only son out of six girls, one boy out of six girls, that's terrible for the family. But anyway, so I didn't like anywhere that I stayed, or I was cross country road tripping it, which was really fun. It was awesome. If you haven't done it, you need to do it. And I ended up staying in Texas for a while with my sister, and then I called my aunts and I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna come live with you guys. And the reason, not the only reason, but it was easier for me to live with my aunts, was because they're lesbian, and I have three lesbian aunts. So, and their first aunt. So, I went to their house, and I didn't tell them until 3 months later that I was gay, and I told them because I was talking to a guy from South Carolina for like 8 hours a day. And I said, okay, you know what? I hate hiding. And it was on a phone call, so I couldn't imagine being in a relationship. So I told them, okay, I gave them my discharge papers. My aunts looked at me, and they're like, this is what they said to me. They're like, Michael, we knew this. And I said, oh, okay. So that was easy, but it was weird that they knew. I thought like I was so straight, but I guess not. They knew. And then so I went to my mom's house, and I said, okay, mom. I sat her down in the backyard, and I told her that I was the reason why I got out of the Coast Guard. And she looked at me and she started crying because she thought it was because of my childhood and she partially thought it was her fault. That's another story, but I told her, I said, Mother, it's not your fault. I've always known I was gay. I've always felt feelings for boys and whatever since I was small. And I told her about when I was younger, how I used to pray to God. And I used to say, okay, God, I don't want to be gay. Please turn me on gay. Please. And I used to like always pray. But, I found one thing out was if you accept yourself, it is so much easier for everybody else to accept yourself. And with the whole church thing, if you accept yourself, it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. You can still walk into the church and you don't have to think about everybody else's thoughts. You just do it for yourself. Anyway, so after I came out to everybody that I felt like I needed to come out, I ended up dating. So I dated after I came out. And when I dated, I kind of was really curious, so I went like on a little explore of dating, and didn't really work out for me. But yeah, so I found out a lot about myself during that time, and so now I have my first boyfriend ever, and it's only been like 3 days, so that's not long at all. But you know, 3 days, fun days, good days. And now, well, actually, to go back, So after, sorry, I know, kind of like going around circles here. Okay, so after I came out, I ended up starting school, and all my friends, they thought I was really straight. Well, I dated girls before, throughout high school, and then when I went to college, it was all like all the same buddies, you know. I live in a little country town, kind of hick town, you know. So I ended up telling them, okay, you guys, I'm gay, and they kind of just like they seemed like they all knew, you know. So it was kind of weird. I don't get it, but they all were like, oh, like they weren't surprised, you know. Anyways, so then where was I at? Where was I? Coming out. Da, 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 da. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So one big one was I have twin sisters, and I ended up telling them. So remember, it takes time for people to understand what it is to be gay, because at the beginning, this is the truth. A lot of people think when you're gay that you're some sex freak, nasty clubbing, dirty, you know. Everybody thought I had an STD when I came home. I'm not even kidding. After I told them I was gay, a lot of them thought like I had AIDS, and I said, okay, look, not everybody has AIDS. Anyway, so I told my little sisters, and they were 13, and they looked at me, and one of them started crying, and she went to her room and played Jesus music, and I was just standing there, and I was like, oh, wow. And then the other one was saying ew. She told me ew. And then after a while, they kind of got used to it, and then I ended up telling them of the way I thought, and I told them about how what they think isn't. I wasn't saying it was wrong, but I just was basically telling them why I felt like it was okay, you know. So now they're kind of like really into the whole like gay thing, you know. They're not lesbian little girls, they're my sisters, but they support me, and my older sister supports me. And another big step for me was basically just feeling really comfortable. So actually, just last week, and again, I guess you could say I'm a new gay. All my friends call me new gay, so I guess I'm a new gay. I put a rainbow flag on the back of my Jeep, and you know, so that was kind of a big step. And um, oh yeah, so to talk really quick for like 5 seconds, because this is going to be another video, but about the whole gay thing in the military, I just actually got a text message 2 days ago from a friend that I was stationed with, and he found out that I was gay, and he asked if it was a rumor, and if I got out of the Coast Guard just for fake, or if I said I was gay just for fake to get out of the Coast Guard, and I told him, no, I'm actually gay, and he told me that he believes he's gay, and he says that he's having a really hard time with it, and that it's just really hard for him to come out because of the same reason that I was afraid to come out, because you're in the military, you know. So if anybody has thoughts about going to the military and thinks that maybe they could be successful in the military, yeah, you can be successful, but you just have to remember that it's so difficult to be gay in the military, because first of all, your life is private, you know, about being gay. You can't tell anybody. And second of all, if it gets out and they find out you're gay, other stuff happens. But again, that'll be like another little segment. So I guess that's it for my coming out story. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.